Okay, let's just... Alright. Welcome back to Uneven Buddies. Today we're going to be procrastinating so we don't have to play Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts, which is also considered hell.
It's one of the circles of hell anyways.
Yeah. And also, random fact, I am playing with... My Pro Controller is dead, I forgot to charge it, I should probably do that. So I am playing with Joy-Cons at the moment. Third-party Joy-Cons that do not drift. So, by default, they are good.
So, perfectly, we were basically at the very end of the game.
Yeah, this is like the last dungeon, world, whatever. So, the party's been split in two, again, because they hate people. In hindsight, we should have here. So yeah, we have like around 3 or 4 hours left. Probably not going to finish it today.
And we're almost certainly not going to be focusing on this today. Or any day, really. This has always been kind of like the side game.
Yeah, but we're so close to the end, we can't just give up at this point.
Yeah.
Alright, and now...
In reality, this is just one giant shitpost where we're basically trying to keep awake.
Yeah. Okay.
Logan, because he's beat this game so many times, he's basically memorized it.
4.
And, yeah, I basically memorized the entirety of Kubo and the Two Strings and 4 feeder showings. You can memorize the entirety of one game in that much time.
What else?
And me, because, honestly, this is the game that always happens before I eat, so I'm, like, never fully awake.
Yeah. But we have news to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, the past week worth of news. So, I'll be listing them off one by one, if they're interesting. Dude, this guy has a dark mode?
In reality, our lives are so meaningless that this is what we have to talk about.
I guess.
Well, then the fact that, like, what the hell would we want to talk about? Work? I complain about it enough to, like, people that listen.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to hear Steven's misadventures in a theater.
Yeah. There's probably someone out there. Alright.
I mean, we do kind of treat this like a podcast at times, so maybe one day.
Maybe. Alright, first thing of news that popped up since, Game Mill Entertainment has announced Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3.
Why, though?
Why not? It's going to have over 40 characters with full voice acting for the first time. Please throw in the porn line again. It's also going to be on PS5 and Series X, and PS4, and One, Switch, PC. They have tried to say that The Last of Us Part 1 is not a cash grab.
It is.
It is. Don't trust them.
Anyone who has to clarify, no, we're not doing this to make cash, is fucking lying.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, any business venture is to make cash, baby.
PlayStation has completed its acquisition of Haven Studio.
No idea what that is, and
let me... What did they make? It's just some random studio.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I heard that name and I, like, that brings nothing to mind.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what I'm doing while we're doing this, I'm quite literally eating a ring pop. That is the level of focus you're getting from me today.
Supermassive Games, the developer of the recent game The Quarry, has been acquired by Nordisk Games.
Is this not the one that used to be THQ?
No, that's Nordisk. Nordisk has a 40% stake in Mercury Steam, which is the company that made Metroid Dread. Bandai Namco has reportedly been targeted by a ransomware attack.
Sounds about right.
Damn. PS5 and Xbox Series X and S ports of Red Dead Redemption 2 have been put on hold so they can focus on GTA 6.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
That was remasters of GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1. But like next gen ports of Red Dead Redemption 2 have been put on hold. If you want to play it in 4K that bad, play it on Steam. It's on PC.
Or just accept the game as it is. It's pretty damn good even without the 4K part.
Yeah, true. The Cuphead DLC has sold over 1 million units.
Yes, 1 million people thought, let's get easy mode.
It's not easy.
The Chalice is easy mode.
But I've heard it's still brutally hard.
Yeah, the extra content is. But
Yeah.
She actually makes the regular game easier.
Konami previously delisted some older Metal Gear games due to the expiration of historical footage licensing, but and that was about a year ago, but they still insist they're going to return to sale on PS3 and 360 and 3DS.
It's not like I never buy from them.
And 3DS.
Am I right?
Yeah. They did say they're working on renewing the license. And they're preparing. What got removed was a bunch of stuff on PS3, PS Vita, nobody owns one. One thing on 360.
We literally both own one.
Yeah, we're nobody. Even then, I haven't even touched it since I beat Persona 4. But I don't know.
I haven't touched it since I bought Hatsune Miku Mega Mix on Steam.
Sony isn't allowing new PS3 and Vita games on the store anymore, so I wonder how they get that up. 360, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Interesting that they're still going to break. Interesting that one of the deals of games was for the 3DS, even though Nintendo was closing the eShop in March. It's a bit weird. But yeah, I did play some Metal Gear Solid 5 a couple days ago. It's still a pretty good game.
Shame that Konami fucking sucks as a company.
Yeah. That was Konami.
And are only really good for collections nowadays.
That was Konami's last good game. I'd say,
like I mentioned, the collections are pretty good.
I'd say we could play on the channel sometimes, but it's such a massive game. Like, jeez. We'd have to, like, I don't know, be done with, like,
Kingdom Hearts
or
entirety.
Or after we're done with Ace Attorney and whatever. No.
The thing is, both Kingdom Hearts and Ace Attorney are long series that I'd rather just focus on because, let's be honest here, both are moneymakers that would actually, like, get us views.
True, I guess.
I say that, but we're never actually going to make money out of this. This channel would have been, like, fucking demonetized like hell.
Well, you never know. We'll see how it turns out.
But it's basically, like, the few series that I'm actually willing to play. That's kind of like the major thing here.
Yeah. Alright. Maybe I'm thinking of doing something, like, a lot shorter in between this and Ace Attorney, so...
We could always, like, have you download Master Duel and just, like, play a couple rounds on that.
That's... Anyway,
Like I mentioned, I'm basically just thinking, like, for one-shots, we could always just, like, play games that you can easily just play together and shit like that.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Okay. PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, which is their new Xbox Game Pass competitor, is adding some more games this month, including I can't speak. Including the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Marvel's Avengers. One of those games is good, and the other is Marvel's Avengers. Alongside a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed games for some reason.
That's sexual assault, Mr. Krabs.
Alongside a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed games, Ice Age Strat's Nutty Adventure for PS4, which exists.
Every time I'm reminded about the fact that both of those things exist, I'm like...
Ice Age?
Ice Age and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, the Ice Age one was released in 2019, after the Disney acquisition of 20th Century Fox.
My issue with Assassin's Creed is, man, Have you guys just like no idea what the hell you're doing with the franchise anymore?
Alongside 2 PSP games called No Heroes Allowed and Loco Roco Midnight Carnival.
I've lost track. What the hell was this announcement about?
Games being added to the new PlayStation Plus service. The extra and premium parts.
Ah.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge surpassed 1 million copies sold in its first week.
Good on that!
Apparently Nickelodeon was hesitant to even make the game a reality.
Because Nickelodeon are a shitty company.
True.
And especially because Viacom, their parent company, is even worse.
Yeah. They rebranded Paramount, but...
Oh, did they finally, like, ditch Viacom because it never made sense anymore?
It was Viacom CBS after, like, the merger, and then they rebranded to Paramount because it's a more recognizable name.
Yeah, literally whenever I think Viacom, all I can think is YouTube copyright bullshit.
Yeah,
but whenever I think of their content, all I can think of stuff like Nickelodeon, Paramount, MTV. Never Viacom.
Yeah.
So good on them for finally wising up and realizing that Paramount's just a better name altogether. Yeah. But fuck you, Paramount, because fuck you, Paramount.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2, the remake, has passed 10 million sales.
Nice.
Very nice, indeed. And...
there was a news story about, like, how a fucking... what's that one game? What's that one game engine that like a bunch of Flash things used?
Adobe Flash?
No. Say Flash games, but it wasn't really Flash. A lot of like those early web games from like
Newgrounds?
I said engine, not like website.
Oh, I don't know.
I'd have to find the Some Ordinary Gamers video on it to like. To remember the name. Let's see if I could find Sog. I'm honestly surprised Mutahar hasn't like just rebranded to just Mutahar, since Some Ordinary Gamers kind of doesn't make any more sense anymore. Since in fact, it never really made sense in the first place, since it was always just him.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially back when he was a creepypasta reading channel instead of like a news channel, stuff like that.
Yeah. Sony unveiled a new loyalty program called PlayStation Stars, which they have clarified is not NFTs.
Oh yeah. Unity.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know, apparently Unity ended up partnering with a malware company.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, it's not really a malware company. It's just that they're even worse than a malware company somehow.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Alright. So PlayStation is doing a PlayStation Stars loyalty program, which they have clarified is not NFTs.
It's NFTs, isn't it?
It's not. It's, so it's free to join, at which point you can start earning rewards, like for earning trophies, being the first to unlock the Platinum Trophy for a game in your specific time zone, which, dear God, what the fuck. They can be redeemed for items such as, wallet funds for your PlayStation Network account, and select products from the PlayStation Store. Let's see more. Because Xbox Game Pass also does something similar. It's like you just do shit and they give you points and you can redeem it for, like, money. Not a lot, but... Multiverse's open beta is set to roll out next week, on July 26th, I think. And if you already had access to the alpha, you get it early for free. And Iron Giant's gonna be playable. He is fucking ginormous. Especially compared to, like, the other fighters. Because, I think they posted a picture. Him, just to show how big he is. Yeah, this was a size comparison.
Nice.
So much for being too big. Skate 4 will be free to play. Won't have pay-to-win microtransactions.
I call bullshit.
But this is EA, so...
Yeah, that's why I call bullshit.
Take that as you will. Final Fantasy Origins still exists. This is Jane DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that game came out, and I saw it in the store and was like, oh yeah, that game's out.
Isn't that the one that was made to
pander to the Western market?
Yeah, because Sony are a bunch of fucking numbnuts.
Yeah. Apparently the Xbox Series X version runs really bad.
That's funny. the biggest Western market game console, like by that I mean like it's the one that panders to the Western market the most.
Yeah.
And it can't even fucking run properly there.
It does run well in the Xbox One though, which is kind of funny.
Weird.
Sega is committed to fixing Sonic Origins amidst ongoing criticism.
Sega are basically fucking lying because they're not going to do shit.
Sega doesn't care about Sonic.
I think the only things they care about nowadays are Yakuza and Miku occasionally.
Yeah, and anything made by Atlas.
Yeah,
because they know that's
they know those are the moneymakers right now since Sonic has such a shit reputation.
Yeah,
they'll occasionally do Sonic movies, but that's because they realize that Sonic movie actually works.
Yeah. So now Sega wants to make live-action properties of Atlas, or live-action adaptations of Atlas properties, which is concerning.
Concerning, but to be fair, the vast majority of the characters could be done in live action.
Yeah, but if it's bad, it's gonna be really funny.
Oh yeah. If they really wanted to do a live-action adaptation of any of the Atlas games, my suggestion would be, ironically enough, probably Catherine.
Yeah, that could work.
Because, like, that's the one that would need the least amount of actual fucking effects.
Catherine's only, like, 10 hours long, even.
Yeah, they could easily be done in, like, the span of, like, a season.
Yeah.
Even Catherine Full Body would probably be done in, like...
Or maybe they could just do a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything needs to be on the big screen, I guess.
Yeah. Persona 4 would work as a TV show.
Persona, yeah, like every Persona game would work as a show.
But the main reason I say Persona 4 is because, like, there's clear arcs in that one game. Like, the first four, like, you can easily tell that they cut the arcs of the game up from, like, the first 4 party members, which, you know, up to Kanji.
Yeah.
Then they cut it up again, like, until Naoto joins the party. And then the rest of it is all the endgame shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's clear separation of how the game treats these party members and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't wait for the Xbox port. It's gonna be weird playing that on a non-PlayStation system.
So, like I mentioned, like that would actually be like a decent way to get around that whole thing by like just having like 3 seasons of a Persona 4 show covering that those specific arcs.
Yeah.
Persona 5 would be a lot harder, and the reason I say that is because Persona 4 has one benefit that Persona 5 does not. And that's that the dungeons are procedurally generated and basically just have an aesthetic rather than actually like being set layouts.
The difference is Persona 4's dungeons are terrible.
Yeah, they're not the best, but what they do have is the ability to basically cut out most of the bullshit for the TV.
True.
Like, they just have to show, like, the area for a couple scenes, mostly just certain fights, and they'd be able to just get away with it because no one would want to see the dungeon crawling aspect of the game. but with Persona 5, one of the major highlights is the dungeon crawling aspect of the game. You know, not Mementos, I mean, but, like, the actual palaces.
They fixed Mementos in Royal, at least.
Yeah, but we're talking about the original Persona 5.
Yeah, but they could adapt Royal.
Yeah. But the issue with that comes in with the fact that, like, Royal kind of treats you like you've already played Persona 5 at times.
Sometimes.
But, like, yeah, like, but more importantly, like I mentioned, Persona 5 would be, like, the biggest name, but it's also the one that would be the hardest to adapt into, like, anything.
Persona 3.
Persona 3 would actually be probably harder, but I'm talking about, like, effects-wise, Persona 5 is the hardest.
Well, they can just, like, take around 4 or 5 of the most important dungeon shoes and just throw it there. Because, like, yeah.
Like, Persona 3, most of its dungeon is literally just one school, and occasionally some boss fights will take place outside of that.
Yeah.
They could easily cut out the entirety of the Tartarus stuff, and no one would bat an eye, and only just bring it up for like the boss battles.
Yeah.
Because that's how the movies did it.
Huh.
Like, the movies will occasionally show them going to Tartarus, but for the most part, they'll focus on the boss fights.
Yeah. Because nobody likes Tartarus.
Yeah.
Now,
Persona 4, like, its dungeons have slightly more variation, but you can cut out the vast majority of that stuff and only show, like, some mini-boss fights and, like, the actual boss fights, and you'd be fine. You could focus on instead focusing on, like, the murder mystery aspect of it all.
Yeah.
Persona 5, on the other hand, really, really does focus on its actual gameplay element.
But
because the social link stuff would be like the honest reason why they'd want to make a Persona anything series, which is why also they would never touch the first two games, but like not including the whole Hitler part. But like
one of them has Hitler as a bad guy.
But quite literally, like, one of the major aspects of the games that they'd have to adapt would be the social links. Because, yeah, even the fucking, like, TV show and movie adaptations went out of their way to show the main characters completing every social link. So it would honestly take up a lot of time. Which is why I'm saying that, like, cutting out the dungeons would be important. Because not only is that stuff the most, costly, but it would also, like, have the most dead space. Especially if you're, like, adapting something like Persona 3 or 4, where the dungeons are so, like, uneventful that you could quite literally just cut out, like, most of the floors and you'd be done.
Yeah.
Like, show the cutscenes that happen inside there and you're fine. Like, you could spend the rest of your time focusing on, like, the murder mystery, the social link stuff and all that, and Persona 4 would easily be done as a TV show. But Persona 5, by virtue of being a really good game, not counting the social link stuff, because, like, that was already, like, considered, like, the best part of Persona 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So Persona 5, of course, had great social links. But the dungeon crawling aspect of it all was always considered the drag. But with Persona 5, the actual dungeon crawling part is a lot of people's favorite part of the game. So they'd have to spend a ton of money actually making sure that it's loyal to the actual game and stuff like that.
I mean,
especially because a lot of those dungeons have actual, like, feasible landmarks they'd have to get around.
I mean, they could just do 3 whole trilogies of movies.
Yeah, that's
one for
what
each
Persona.
palace.
That's what Persona 3 did.
Persona 3 did 4.
Yeah.
One for each palace.
There's 5 palaces.
In 5?
Yeah. Kamoshida, the fucking...
Madarame, Kaneshiro, Kurumura, Nijima, Shido, Mementos if that counts, and the Royal Exclusive Palace.
Oh yeah, there's like 9 or 10.
9.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
You're right, but you were the one that said 3.
I said 3 trilogies of movies, so 9.
Yeah, this is why I said TV shows would work better.
I think it'd be funnier if they do a movie, but yeah, TV show would work better. I just think it'd be really funny.
Especially because, for the most part, you don't even have to, like, change the personas. You can just reuse the same rigs.
Yeah.
Well, with the exception of the protagonist, but that's a different thing altogether. And hell, even the Persona 4 TV show cut around it by mostly having him use Izanagi, and then occasionally use some other persona if, like, the situation needs it.
Yeah. We're talking about how they're gonna do, the mainline ones, but watch them adapt Persona Q and Q2.
Persona Q and Q2 actually would be decent adaptations because they could easily cut out most of the dungeon crawling.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, just giant mazes. That's about it.
Yeah,
like,
I can't familiar.
And occasionally the cutscenes, they'd be able to easily do that, but the major issue with the fact that Persona Q and Q2 kind of demand that you already know what the fuck happened in 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. On top of that fact that nobody played Q2.
Yeah.
Because it was a 3DS exclusive in 2019 when the Switch was like 2 years old. And now it's like one of the rarest 3DS games. It goes for like $300.
You have it, and I don't.
I do. Heh.
Because it came out at a time I had no money.
Heh. I bought it. I bought the special edition, which came with like an art book and plush.
Wait. I know that they're shutting down the eShop, but is it not on the eShop?
It is on the eShop for like $40.
Okay.
It goes on
I'm gonna have to remind myself to buy it before it shuts down.
Credit card stuff has already been disabled. You have to like add it through an eShop card, and that's gonna be disabled next month. So the only way you can add money is to like merge money with your Switch account, merge your 3DS with your Switch account, and add funds on your Switch, and then buy on the 3DS. And buying off Nintendo's website is not an option because they pulled all Wii U and 3DS games off of there.
Great. Time to bust out the emulation stuff again.
Yeah. Worst comes to show, you can always hack it. I hacked my Wii U, so... Anyway. So yeah, nobody played that game. Nobody liked it either. Now it's...
I mean, I did see people not talking about it more compared to Persona Q.
Yeah, because it came at a time they're like, dude, just put it on the Switch. Nobody's gonna buy it. I mean, in their defense, it kind of demands that you have to use the 2 screens.
Yeah.
But...
Because it uses the Etrian Odyssey stuff.
I mean, this game was on the 3DS originally, and then they ported it to Switch. So... And I'm pretty sure Atlas can figure out how to get it to work on one screen.
They're too lazy, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're too lazy. It's like so.
By lazy, I mean they don't want to do it because not only did the game not sell well, they have other games to worry about.
Yeah. And also, it didn't have an English dub, which means they just wanted to get rid of it. They didn't want any effort. Anyway. But the special edition that came with also came with trading cards, or playing cards. Like a deck of cards. Huh. And an art book, which is sitting in the toolbox somewhere.
I still remember the reason why I made Lucina Bowser's daughter in this game.
Yeah.
Because of that one joke from a long while ago.
I remember that. That was funny. Heh. Ugh, I'm dying. I don't know what.
Did you somehow manage to forget in the months since we did that one video?
Which one video?
The video where we originally had the introduction of King Bowser and Princess Lucina.
Oh yeah, that was...
ages ago.
That was like August. Jesus.
It's been an entire year then.
Almost.
The original joke was that like there was like a bit of a meme going around talking about like how Chrom interacting with Bowser Jr. would in Smash would make Bowser Jr. act more like him, so basically a lot more like Lucina. So then after that, people started making a joke how Lucina would be interacting with Bowser, which would end up with her acting more like Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it again if it's...
You see, here, there's a trick. If you already have it, you can sell it, and you have free money.
You're doing this because it's like almost guaranteed at this point.
Yeah. Free money. See? Free money. What else? In other news recently, I've been playing this little program called VR Chat. It's a trip. I don't even have a VR headset, but you can play without the VR.
This room is getting weirdly warm.
And also, every time I watch like the Kingdom Hearts videos, like it's either the game audio is too loud or we're too quiet. So if you hear us louder and the game audio is quieter, then That's probably your reasoning.
Oh, because he deliberately made us louder?
Yeah.
Smart.
If your ears start bleeding, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of VR chat lately. Fun time. I got, someone invited me to, like, a room, and we just, like, watched a pirated copy of SpongeBob in there. So that was fun. That was at 1 in the morning. Yeah. Can't wait to be accused of being a pedophile on VR chat. You know you've made it on the internet when you get accused of being a pedophile.
So, are we running? Oh, did we run out of news stories?
News stories? I think there was maybe one more, but I don't give a shit. I may not have given a shit about it. Yeah, I don't care. Okay.
A rare sandwich.
Yeah, very, very rare. Well done. Alright. Well, we beat Bowser and Lucina. Certainly no other bosses are going to show up that we previously fought. Alright. We go this way. And, I wonder how everyone's doing. And this is when we switch to the other side of the team that got split apart. And also, I gotta use the bathroom, so I guess, and this has been going for like 30 minutes, so I guess now's a good time to
Yeah.
stop it. So
and it even had the continue playing thing.
What do you know? So tune in next time where I don't know, talk about shit again.
Yeah. This was our weekly, apparently it's now weekly or something, I don't know.
At least it's weekly during the summer.
Yeah.
Then it turns into monthly.
And then it turns into like bi-monthly and shit.
And then it turns back, and then the cycle repeats.
Yeah. That was our news story.